What's up guys, back in today with another reaction to the Berserk manga, this time with volume 23, the final couple chapters, The Night of the Falling Stars and Like a Baby. We'll just go ahead and just quickly cover what we went through last time, which was Griffith killing the leader of the Kushan, well not the full Kushan army I don't think, but a kind of section of it. And us following this this boy for quite a while. Get what the chapter's names were. One before, but yeah, this boy seems to be quite a topic of interest for Griffith. Perhaps I think we're going to be seeing their meeting today. Yeah, some. We also met this psychic girl, didn't we? Who's again almost a bit distant looking. That kind of fits in with the psychicness, I guess. But she's again got this pretty cute, but she's got this pretty creepy kind of aura to her, if you get what I'm saying. Not quite as creepy as anyone else in Griffith's army, but just again just a weird kind of, sometimes what you get with some crazy girls in real life, an air of craze. But yeah, just a lot of fight scenes in the last few chapters as she kind of leads this new kid to Griffith. There was quite a few cool meetings there, wasn't there, as well? Locust especially, he was really awesome. Definitely, probably one of, well, I say definitely, probably, probably one of my favourite of the new Griffith soldiers. And we did hear that they're all kind of legends as well. They're all kind of almost revived legends coming from far to join Griffith. Just shows how much kind of power is in that religion / what people hear about him. But yeah, I had a pretty nasty time in the forest here before Grunbeld ended up saving us. But yeah, we left off with Griffith just sitting here. So let's get right into the chapters today. Let me know what you guys think about these down in the comment section. Make sure to leave a like on the video if you guys do like, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with these reactions. And let's get right into it. Again, I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. I imagine these are maybe some of the spirits that haunt Guts every now, well, I say every now and then, every night. I'm not sure about that though. Not sure about that whatsoever. The Night of the Falling Stars. What are those? They're the ones who died in battle today. In the twilight after battle, they gather around Lord Griffith. Wow. Yeah, these are dead souls, and they're just surrounding him. Pretty interesting, isn't it? They're with him right after death. That's a very nice shot here, isn't it? How do you draw like mist like that? How do you draw that? Yeah. I haven't got the first clue, honestly. That's really great, isn't it? You can really feel like the shine as well. Even though it's just black and white, you can really feel like the shine from the souls, especially the ones overlapping his body here. A mundane face, again, all within the covenant of causality. I love that saying. Ever since I heard Void say that, the covenant of causality. I think it was Void that said that. Covenant of causality. Oh dear. Oh dear. Can you tell I just woke up? I just literally just spilled a shitload of water on myself. Brilliant. I don't think you guys can see it like a... You're dead? Souls? They're pretty... Again, it's that slight bit of craziness to this guy. They're pretty... Again, I'm really looking forward to seeing what significance this kid has. Or if he's just like a vessel for us to see exactly what's going on here. I quite like him. He hasn't shown too much kind of personality or whatever. He did during like the fight scene, but I want to know more about this guy. As we've got the religious. Who are they? Kindred and lovers of the war dead. So they're the families and such of the souls we just saw, right? Wait, were these souls of the enemy, did they say? Or no, they're just the ones that died in battle, so the ones on their side as well. Though I don't actually think they suffered any losses. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I guess it would make a bit more sense if this was the souls of his soldiers. Maybe the one, to be fair, actually, maybe the ones that the Kushan kind of used against them as their own soldiers. We really saw a good point about that in the last chapters, didn't we? With us seeing how Griffith has treated the enemy soldiers and bringing them in, as opposed to just using them like we saw the Kushan did. So I guess if that's them, I was gonna say it makes a bit more sense if this is kind of Griffith's soldiers and the people he sacrifices are all kind of surrounding him and then building that path right in front of him. They've come to say their final farewells. Hey, where's Dad? He's in the palm of my hand. Literally and figuratively. Moulding. Putting him into that mould of that bridge. The bridge of bodies. Here's your father, kid. Bringing a bit of supernatural. This is just going to kind of push the religion and Griffith and his influence even further, isn't it? Actual kind of evidence of supernatural activity like this. It's like Jesus when he turns water into wine. Dad, yeah. Oh shit. Actually, like a presence of him, and it's not all demonic. Interesting. And usually with these, they're like proper horrible, horrible little spirits. I guess this is different. I guess this is slightly different in a way, isn't it? It's nice though, isn't it? To be fair, although it's also kind of cruel. It's nice that they get to see their loved one more time before they pass, but not really them. Well, it is. Again, it's hard to actually kind of pinpoint my argument on this, but I still, it's not pure nice, if you know what I'm saying. There is a means to this. It doesn't just come out the good in Griffith's heart. I can't imagine. There's no heart there, except for Guts' kid, perhaps, but I don't think it's him leading these actions. Be well. Perhaps it is that like demonic spirit, but Griffith's like influenced it to look like it's past self for moments, perhaps, or something like that. Yeah. But as I brought up last time, is it actually like, because this is another kind of good thing we're seeing from this. First of all, would it actually be better if Griffith run Midland over the Kushans? Maybe. Probably when we see how the Kushan used the Midland people during the last battle. Probably. But again, this is a demon right here. This is the means to justify this there's been so many deaths, so many sacrifices of innocent people. Some willingly so, and many others not so. So again, it's just ask those ethical questions, doesn't it? And again, I don't really have a firm stance. I have a firm stance that Griffith is, in general, is wrong. But again, the ends to it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. Again, really like the kind of smoky effects on here. Great, doesn't it? Again, it does kind of remind me of something that would kind of happen with like Jesus. Like you get plenty of people just crowd around like this while he's just sitting in the middle of nowhere telling stories, or again turning water into wine or whatever, and all sorts. It's over. Lord Griffith. Oh. Big hug. What the hell? You did well today, Sonia. That was nothing. Really wholesome image here, isn't it? Which again, just strange. So strange here, isn't it? Quite a cute image. It's also, again, it's a little bit scary because it almost reminds me a little bit again of like the actual Band of the Hawk. This is like the fake Band of the Hawk. Again, the Band of the Pork. But I could see this happening with like a Rickett or a young one in Griffith's original Band of the Hawk. Him acting like this and kind of grooming him in a way that they'd so much respect and love for him. They'd be willing to sacrifice and do anything. Follow Griffith no matter what the end goal is. And just know it's right to follow him. Yeah, this is pretty. Again, this is pretty memorable. Something again I'd imagine would happen in the Golden Age arc. So this is interesting right here, isn't it? Again, we know he has no humanity, so this is like no meaning to him whatsoever. This is just purely for the sake of leaving an impression or something, right? It's like with you here, my power gets a lot stronger, Lord Griffith. You know, I could see that maybe he kind of amplifies her power or something as well, maybe. I think she is still human. Again, I'm not sure about that, but everyone else seems to be demons. I think she is still human because obviously the demons wanted to eat her. I don't think they'd want to eat another demon, would they? One of the only other people here, well, yeah, only other people with this little guy that is human. I think anyway. I imagine almost all of these soldiers are demons, just from like the lights that we saw during the battles. That cluster of lights, where exactly did it go? Zordon bodyguard duty in the back. To where they will become one? Where is that? Heaven? Or else? Someday you'll know. I mean, yeah. But also, how soon will that be? What are you trying to say here, Griffith? Someday or any day? That time comes for everyone. This is our first meeting, Lord Mule. I am Griffith. He knows his name. I am Lord Griffith. I am Griffith, sorry. It's Count Griffith, isn't it, not Lord? I am Griffith, the leader of this Band of the Hawk. Griffith, and this man really is the White Hawk. Forgive my hesitation. I am Mule Wolfflame, youngest son of the Lord of Lumius, Balagar Wolfflame. Words cannot express my gratitude towards your rescuing my retainers and subjects in the battle earlier. I must be the one to offer thanks. The provisions you delivered will allow us to fight for several months. A voice that sounds invigorating. As a war hero, I had imagined him to be a muscular, good-looking man. We are hardly worthy, but he doesn't seem like a man, or even human. But that aside, what is this? These feelings that rose up, I thought he was clutching his, his down belows for a second. I was like, holy crap. But I think he's touching his heart. What is this feeling? The feelings that rose up, just as I set eyes on him. This welling up of... Wow. Quite the reaction here, isn't it? Man's literally met him. He said a couple sentences and he's got this guy tearing up. Is this some kind of like demon presence thing going on here, or is this like just like if I was to talk to Griffith right now, if I was in this kind of situation, being myself, would I just start crying? Pretty amazing if so, isn't it? Strange. Starts crying. Starts getting a welling feeling in his heart. Wow. Yeah, and what makes this so? Is it just it's just the way he is, just the lack of anything in there that just makes him. They do say like psychopaths and such are very. Again, I don't think Griffith is a I don't think you can classify him as like a psychopath right now. Maybe the old Griffith, the one before he turned into a demon, but he's not even that. He's got nothing inside of him. So, but you always did hear about people that were kind of that do have like Stockholm syndrome, get like. I mean, this is not that, but do get attached to their captor. People that really kind of. You hear people talk about psychopaths and mass criminals like that, and they actually have such a charming and kind of overtaking kind of vibe, and I wouldn't say personality, but kind of aura and such to them, just a really interesting aura, and you get people that like attracted to them. That's why they're able to be so successful as like a murderer, psychopath or whatever, because they're so good at playing it off and so good at interaction and interacting with people. I've heard a few stories about that, to be honest with you. I think like Jack the Ripper is one of them. He was quite the popular guy, I'm pretty sure, with a woman, and he obviously killed quite a few people, and they were none the wiser as to who it was. But I think it's like an intense kind of nothing, if that makes sense. An intense person to be around. And yeah, trying to get my head around this, to be honest. Please, I ask you to accept this sword. Please. What am I doing? He's like offering up his services for his sword here, right? Like his sword as in him. My blade will be for you, type of deal. And he's literally questioning himself while doing it. Like, what can bring this about? With this man I've just met, and with whom I've hardly exchanged a word. I know, right? Weird stuff right here. However, deepest within me, there's a voice. Lord Griffith? An inescapable, emboldened voice saying this is destiny. Does that maybe come from the same type of place that Griffith's dream did, like as a kid? I think everyone, maybe not everyone, especially people like childhood traumas and stuff, but even then actually maybe them mostly are kind of captured by their childhood and their childhood dreams and wishes and what happened to them and their traumas as a child that kind of shapes them. Maybe again, maybe most of all, as much as you want to try and forget stuff like that. Maybe this comes from a similar place as where Griffith's dream did, but yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? There's destiny. Or maybe there is a kind of outside force working here. I doubt it though. I do kind of doubt it. That I'm not counting kind of Griffith and his aura being an outside force. That has definitely got a mass effect here. This is destiny. As he accepts his sword. Interesting. Is one of my favourites. Sure, these guys done pretty well to sneak this far, to be honest. Poison arrow. Quiet. Again, I like this guy a lot. You mustn't spoil the moment. True. I want to know more. I want to know more of this moment right here. I knew it by instinct. That what I had set before myself wasn't merely another war to be recorded in history. I feel like, I was going to say this, I feel like the setting really is quite beautiful here, isn't it? With the stars behind them and the lights and the darkness. And it really emphasises that here, doesn't it? Not just another war, not just another war to be recorded in history, but perhaps it belonged to the domain of legend. True. True. Again, beautiful. Beautiful drawing here. The domain of legend. It's like the new. This is like the new Guts and Casca. As much as I'm kind of joking there, it might actually be. Yeah, so we're back with these guys. Cool. That was quite the moment there, wasn't it? Quite the scene. Really good scene there. Really good scene. A lot of tension there, wasn't there? And a lot of mystery, mysteriousness. And again, I think that draws people as well. I've heard women say I've got that kind of similar demeanor in their interest in that as well. I've always kind of questioned that because usually I just think I'm pretty normal, average, kind of boring guy. I'm a little bit more quiet than usual, and I think that's what does it. They think that's mysterious, but in actuality, that's just me being quiet. And yeah, just by that fact, like I said, it's people quite intrigued by that kind of stuff. So maybe that was something similar to. I'm not comparing myself to Griffith at all. I don't think I'd want to, but yeah, definitely want to. But yeah, I think it comes from a place like that, just the kind of entrapment of mystery and humans kind of wanting of that. I'm a big mystery guy myself. Some of my favorite anime, Summertime Render, banger. What's it called? Higurashi is great as well. I love mystery movies. The recent Glass Onion movies are great. But yeah, I've always been a big fan of mystery. I think a lot of people are. They're coming out, Isidro. I got it. Lady Farnese. Please do not let that fire die. I know that. No, Casca, you mustn't wander around. Oh. Again, I really like this new haircut on Farnese. She looks really cute. There's a lot more to it than just cute, but she does look really cute. Hey, they come. Oh, what am I saying? Here they come. Hey, they come. That's some like Neanderthal words right there. This kind of looks like Tar Man. One of my favourite zombies. One of my absolute favourite zombies. I bring him up a lot. That's because he's got one of the biggest personalities of a zombie. He's still a zombie. He's still a big zombie. But he's got a lot of personality for a zombie, Mr. Tarman. I love this kind of stuff though, kind of gross, kind of melting and disintegrating effects like that. What are these? These like slugs. They almost look like little poos. Yeah, slugs and grime and yeah. Bring it on, bog zombies. I like these ones as well. They've got like an open back, and you can see like the full inside, like the spine and stuff. I like a lot of different type of zombie designs, honestly, and there's a lot out there. Definitely been pushed. Zombie designs have definitely been pushed to the absolute kind of limits, if you know what I'm saying. They're trying everything. Bones, humans with a bit of colour on them, half kind of disintegrated, all sorts. Hands. You know, I read a little bit up about it was just a while ago actually, but it was quite interesting to read about the actor who played the hand in I forget the name of the hand, but in Adam's Family. I've always thought that quite interesting, the acting with the hand and how he made it, kind of how he had kind of different kind of personalities and emotions and such for a hand. I found that really intriguing, and it was really good as well, if you know what I'm saying. It really did kind of convey the emotion or whatever he was going for, like scaredness or whatever with just a hand. Really impressive stuff. Really impressive stuff. The girls with the firewood. Now you shall teach them the power of the elf dimension style. No, I shan't. Come on, give it a try. And that is we're ending off this chapter. I'm going to read some comments quickly. Probably not too much. Well, actually, there's very interesting stuff at the start, but I doubt there's too much in the comment section. I found lately there hasn't been too many comments, but there hasn't been too many kind of interesting comments, honestly. Wow, really? Finally passed all that mid-Griffith shit and onto peak Guts. Really? I mean, I know Guts' situation, like I've mentioned before, is probably one of the most interesting, maybe the most interesting place we find him in right now. But that mid, again, I thought that was an amazing scene just there, was it not? I think maybe sometimes in media, people really hold grudges against villains and characters that they think are bad, and just think that that's bad because the characters are evil or bad or whatever. Again, does that not mean that they're doing it right? Does that not mean that they're doing a good job? I don't know. Yeah, I think this guy's right here. Griffith knows all their spirits are going into that pile and pit where everyone is stuck together on his bridge. That's where they're all going. Kid, this is your dad, and he's going on my bridge of humans. That is essentially what happened there, isn't it? And yeah, that's yeah, that's about it. Let's get right into the final chapter for this volume. Like a baby. Oh, are we about to see the elf dimension style right here? You know what, Asuna looks slightly older as well. I'm not sure if that's just me. It looks a little bit, maybe like a year older or something. Maybe that's just the experience of him and Guts, though. Maybe a couple weeks or months ages you way beyond. I mean, it does, to be fair, mentally and stuff. So I guess maybe this is like a visual representation of that. I love this right here. The two lines. Ah. Oh. I thought we were fighting demons here. And zombies. That's nice to see her. Good. I'm much obliged. That's cute. Swan, I think that says. I've always remember this one being Sue, I think. Not for Cristiano Ronaldo reasons, but because so many sentences end with Desu. And that's Suwa, and that's an N as much as it looks like an H. And again, another pretty easy one to remember. All these I think are really easy to remember, honestly. Again, it's just a kanji. Like I studied this like 4 years ago, and it's still pretty. I watch anime a lot as well, but still pretty fresh in the mind. Nice to see this, though, isn't it? I mean, Cedra almost got there with his strike. I mean, the reach difference is just crazy. So, yeah, it's never going to end well. He needs to take that fourth in kind of school and maybe get some smaller weapons and use his agility to his advantage. Instead of going straight on. Like a little Boji. That little leaf. Oh, so cute. I tried using the fox marrow from yesterday. You do good work, Serpy. I like that nickname. Serpy. Bit easier than Serpico. Serpy. Why? Think a little. At your height, what will happen if you use an overhead strike against an adult? Yeah, I guess what I just said. It's better to use maybe a smaller weapon, perhaps. Make advantage of his height. I ain't got much time. I'll teach you the basics and spar with you, but the rest is up to you. If you want to get good at killing, first use your head and think for yourself. I think that's one of the biggest things, not just kind of physicality and strength, but actually kind of fortifying your mind in a fight to not just, first of all, not just panic and go into kind of fight or flight and just forget everything you learned, but yeah, actually kind of keep your mind calm and then kind of figuring out the fight as you go along. I've never been one to fight. I don't think I've ever had a fight in my life. I've been punched in the back of the head once. Other than that, I don't think I've been in a fight, and that was a pretty dirty shot by, but I think it was when I was like 18, 19 when I was first kind of going out drinking. My friends ended up, I think there was like 4 men, but there was 3 of us. Both my friends, I ended up beating 4 of them, I'm pretty sure, from what I remember. But yeah, I got like smacked in like the back of the head. It didn't really hurt or anything. Other than that, I've never been in a situation like that at all. Not really an aggressive person or anything. So yeah, I can't really give any I can just give what I've heard. But yeah, I imagine again being in a calm state of mind would be much more paramount than any amount of kind of power or skill you have. Not just remembering a load of moves your teacher taught you, but figuring stuff out yourself. Not thinking on the battlefield, you'll get dead real quick. And what if you beat me up stupid first? And what if you beat me stupid first? I want to reason it a bit more, but we are starting to run out. Yeah, you're likely to need salt after exertion. Droopy's, I'm still not sure how to say that. Droopy's food's almost ready. So go call Farnese and Casca. Just giving everyone a little nickname now. Farnese. We'll call Farnese and Casca. Might as well call her fucking, what's her name? Is it Janine? No, Elaine. Call her Elaine at this point. They're gathering firewood over there. The guys have sure gotten domesticated. You guys have sure gotten domesticated. Go do it yourself. Oh, Elaine. Elaine with the leaves. At least she's having more fun than being tied to a tree. Lady Farnese. Mushrooms. I found them earlier. These are poisonous. You cannot eat them. This one's a Wariatake. 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 I don't know. Is that so? Not to worry. I will take over. That was a close one. That's the way. Rub it hard against the rock. Yeah. Right. Ah, my best shirt. That was your best shirt. We saw him at the start. I looked like shit. I'll do the rest. Really fun time with these guys. Really fun time with these guys just then, wasn't it? It's funny, consider it's like the situation from Griffith's kind of band and Guts is right here. It's almost like that's a bit of a fake kind of happiness and a kind of a structured, measured kind of happiness, whereas this is just like a completely different situation where there is stuff to worry about. In that situation, there's nothing to worry about. They're totally sorted. They're fine. Everything's on track, and I guess like a manufactured happiness, whereas this is just like a kind of happiness is kind of come about out of disaster, and they're really not safe. They're being attacked every night, and this kind of this niceness has come from a place of kind of trial and tribulation and disaster and darkness. I quite love that kind of comparison, to be honest with you. Don't know if you guys see that as well, but this is the real kind of life right here. This is a real life. So I don't spill any on myself again. As we've got more zombies. Ah! Ah! He's on fire! Yo! Why am I the only one? So he's got a new top. Pretty sure that's probably one of Farnese's, right? That looks pretty feminine. What are you doing? Forget it. Just concentrate on Casca and the fire. yeah, you can't really be doing stuff like this. Like I said, I mean, it's not like Farnese is strong or anything, but it's just a mentality. She doesn't really need to be. She just needs to open her eyes and be aware of what's happening in her surroundings. And like I said, it's much more important that the mind is switched on than the body. She's panicking right here. Understandably, I mean, look at what they're facing. This really reminds me of the bloody zombies from Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. Is that the one? The actual kind of scary-ish animated movie. I really liked that as a kid. That was quite scary, actually. Had quite a few scary moments. I rewatched it as an adult a few years back, and it obviously wasn't nowhere near as good, but still as an adult, even had some kind of good tension moments and such. It's actually quite surprising that they made it as scary as they did for kids. But yeah, this really reminds me of the zombies there. Must feel a little bit bad being stuck with the useless Casca. That's a big job though, protecting her, so maybe it's slightly wrong saying that, but yeah, imagine she feels a bit useless being stuck with the useless. Oh, this makes me really sad seeing her face like this. I do really like Farnese, so I think she wasn't one of my favourites or anything. She's still not one of my favourites, but I do like her as a character much more as the story goes on. Much more as the story goes on. But now more than ever, I really kind of connect with her a bit, I think. I'm truly useless. And it's laughable. I think that's her just kind of recognising as well, like almost where she came from, and like, I mean, you don't just get strong like that. You don't join guts and become strong, I think. And this is just her recognition of everything that's led her to this moment. It's really not kind of prepared her for life. I mean, at all. We saw her backstory a while ago, right? I mean, what was her back? It was the end of the last volume, I'm pretty sure. And again, that just, I mean, that wasn't any way to kind of grow up or be raised. I mean, if you can call that being raised, that's the thing. There was no raising going on. So, like I said, I think this is just almost a kind of, this is the result of that, but this is also her recognizing that as well. And I think this is actually, as much as again I'm quite sad at, it's quite a sad moment here. It's almost as I said I was sad here, but maybe it's almost a little bit uplifting as well in the fact that she recognizes that, and the only way from here is up, if you know what I'm saying. We can't get any worse, and especially now with joint guts, the only thing we can do is improve and not be useless, really, not turn a blind eye to the stuff. But I do think as I mentioned, the more it's going on, the more I like Farnese. But I feel like as it keeps going, I'll enjoy her character more and more and more as well. I feel like that could definitely be the case. Being exposed to terror every night made me realise how diminutive is my existence. I was prepared for that, but even as I become used to the grotesque, I see now that I can't actually do anything in my mundane daily life. I don't think I can suddenly make believe that I'm a maidservant, but all I can do is gather firewood and babysit. That is what it is, isn't it? I was going to mention this earlier. Casca might even be less than a baby, honestly. Stuff like this, like, I feel like maybe you wouldn't even be able to kind of satisfy a kid with just playing with leaves. But Casca really just like having a blast, just throwing leaves up and down. Don't get me wrong, I think a lot of kids would have a lot of fun with that. But again, it's just funny that maybe some wouldn't, and Casca does. Shows how bad it is. Back then I was confident that as long as I went with him, something inside me would change dramatically. I did some terribly cool things to you. I apologize. Yeah, I guess she's kind of confronting that head on a little bit now as well. Confronting the way she treated Casca before and the attempted abductions and stuff. Which I've already kind of put behind me, to be honest, but I guess she's always kind of faced with that, and the kind of the funny thing about that is just how innocent Casca is, isn't it? Like, this is like pure innocence right here. Again, as much as I say it's stupid, it is stupid, but like that's what kind of kids are and such. They are kind of almost like pure innocence, and to see that right in front of her and to know what she was going to do and attempting to do to Casca, it's must be quite the fucking thing to think about, right? I was gonna burn this girl who's completely innocent, is an absolute baby, and I was gonna kill her. I'm gonna put her on a stake and roast her. Wanting to decorate yourself majestically and oppress another is understandable under such conditions. Yeah, I feel like that's another really good point. People that have been oppressed in the past, I've been a victim of this. I've been a perpetrator of this. The people that have had bad stuff happen to them, and people that have been oppressed sometimes want to push that onto other people. I think you feel that a little bit with like the kind of, say, the racist era, the era of like slavery and stuff. You saw a few slaves actually kind of maybe coming out of that situation, but then putting that onto other slaves and such. I think is a decent example. People again just wanting to put their oppression onto others and see how they like it if they went through the same oppression that so and so did. People kind of lose their way with that. People that have been bullied and then become like a bully. That looks like fun. May I? You can find it. Wanting to decorate yourself majestically and oppress another is understandable under such conditions. I have been so small. So play with some. Again, as much as it's so childish, it is quite cute, isn't it? Just wrestling in the lease. Again, personally, this would set off about 1 million different hay fever, fucking pollen situations for me. I'd just be sneezing all over the place probably. Maybe that's why I've got. I mean, my hay fever and my allergies aren't that bad. But maybe they are kind of worsened because as a kid I did kind of play a lot in the grass, in the ground and the dirt and stuff like this. Who knows? There's a little rabbit. Got loads of these near mine. Got loads of them. I used to have one myself when I was a kid, but haven't had one since. Never the best pets. Rabbits. They're cute, but they're not nearly as kind of companionative as like a dog or something. Nowhere near. Just almost like a separate existence you got to look after. A little bit like I mean, even cats are probably a little bit better. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of cats. As it jumps back in, it's quite funny, isn't it? Pops out, sees the sights for a minute, and then jumps back in its cave of blindness to its safety. And if this was Farnese right now, the rabbit would have just ran out. If you know what I'm saying? This is the old Farnese. Casca, please wait here a minute. This way. I can help with food. Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of that, to be fair. Good bit of food, that. A little rabbit. I love a rabbit myself. No idea what it would taste like. That's odd. Oh dear. The little hole at the back. Sometimes these things happen though. That's the thing. You live and you learn, Farnese. You'll be wiser next time. Ah, that sort. Come here. Oh well. I'd better head back. The sun's setting. Again, sometimes these things happen. Doesn't mean you're completely useless. Like I said, you'll know next time. Okay. Ah, for fuck's sake. Oh, for fuck's sake. Yeah, you should never just tell Casca to wait there a minute. Never ends up well, does it? Fuck's sake. Casca, you're so annoying. Maybe she does need a leash fucking 24/7. My god. If a massive plot scenario comes out of this, I'm gonna be pissed. I mean, I don't think it will, but you're gonna do this to us again, Casca? Looks like she put her stick in the pile of leaves. Casca? Casca! Oh no. If the sun sets before I... Jeez. She's my responsibility. Casca! Oh, looks like it's getting dark just from the way the panels are. Answer me! Now I don't know the way back. Oh, this is all sorts of messed up now, isn't it? Fuck's sake, man. Oh god. Not a good sign. Thump. Thump. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god, man. Darkness that bears down. It's like I've fallen into a deep, deep abyss. Cat. Somebody. Serpico. Can no longer move. Just cower. Cower. And be small. Damn. That's a nice little, not sure what to call that. Nice little bring back of the image there. Damn. How long have we been recording? It feels like I haven't been recording that long this time. No, it's about the same as usual. Oh, found her. Where's Casca? I bet. I was thinking. Maybe this is not the case. But I was damn thinking that Casca's under this bloody pile of leaves. It might be, you know. It might just be under those leaves. Hopefully. Hey! Over here! Lady Farnese, you're safe. That's another thing in this day and age. If you're just out in the woods, it's very easy to get lost, isn't it? It's easy to get lost in the woods nowadays with compasses, maps, and your phone and stuff. But let alone when you've got nothing, you've got to go off what branches you've seen before and what trees you've seen before and stuff. Mark trees and that. I always think of the Blair Witch Project. Again, I watched that quite a while after its heyday, but I always found the setting to be quite scary. Going around in circles for days. Can you stand? Jeez, talk about careless. Last night was no picnic. Even Serpico ran off to look for you. Thanks to that, it was just me and Guts struggling to protect Casca. Oh, so they did find Casca. Yeah, they did. Good, good. Interesting. Didn't run off too far then. Casca? Is Casca alright? More or less. Ah. Alive and knocking. And kicking. Hunger brought her back right before supper. I guess that's a good thing and an instinct everyone has, even kids, right? The instinct to eat and go, and even the stupidest animals have just the instinct to go to where the food is to survive. Food is a big incentive. Sheesh. Now we can finally sleep. Interesting. It's interesting to think what would be going through Farnese's mind right here. There's got stands there like that. Would she think he's disappointed, angry? He looks very much indifferent, honestly, doesn't he? Interesting. as he turns. Don't cost us so much time. What do we do if the babysitter goes missing? Oh, Farnese. I think this is how plenty of people see themselves, isn't it? And just how a lot of humans, me included, see ourselves in general in comparison to like the rest of the world. It's just like, yeah, it's just a useless little pebble. Again, there's much more to that. There's obviously that's not exactly the case, but I think that thought goes through everyone's minds at some point, doesn't it? Just a pebble in this sea of in this world. Serpico? Yes. I'm a burden. Again, it's great that she recognises all this, isn't it? What's wrong? Nothing. drops his bucket. Shall we go back to the holy city? No. No, you shouldn't. The fact that you're learning all this and is kind of like the first step, isn't it? Like the first hurdle. I never said that. Oh, that was actually Serpico that said that. Oh yeah. Tiniest little. I was gonna say, it seemed a bit weird. Like I said, it's like the first step in her regression. I never said that. If I go back, I'll become buried again. However powerless, helpless, and clumsy. For the first time, I'm discovering myself. And sometimes when people do this, I think this is what they call a midlife crisis. I went through something similar to this when I was like in my early 20s. Maybe I haven't gone through it yet properly because I'm not in midlife. But just that, who am I? Who actually am I? What is my kind of role in this world? What am I doing? What's my goal? What's my end goal? Who am I now? Who do people look as me as? Who do people want me to be? A lot to go over, and like I said, I went through it a few years back. And again, sometimes you don't like the answers that come up there. But again, luckily for me, I'm young enough to go through that to be able to kind of change myself and mold myself and whatever. But I feel like anime really helped with that kind of stuff and to bring those questions up, honestly. You know, that's a good thing of the Japanese culture in general. They really are quite kind of self-conscious in a good way. Very respectful of others and stuff like that. Just in general, the kind of topics and philosophies that anime covers, I think, really helped. Yeah, that's what people's midlife crises are. They get to like 40 and they're like, what have I been doing my whole life? What have I been building towards? And who am I? Who does my friends see me as? Who does my family see me as? Who do I see myself as? Who do I want to be? Who do I think I am? Who actually am I? Yeah, really liking this stuff with Farnese right here. For the first time, I'm discovering myself. Should I strike from below? For you, yeah, I think that's a good idea. Seijo should always just strike the balls when in battle. It's a weak area. If you want to reach the sea and avoid people as much as possible, take this old highway over the mountain pass. We've got a farmer here. Not wanting to be seen by people must mean you've got some reason. Might fit in here pretty well, Casca, with a sheep. Stop that! But you all are headed for the port of Vritanis. Then you'd best be careful. Something there? Lunging then, sorry. I'll say lunging. Lunging then. Give that up and stick with the elf dimension star. It's becoming the military base for several allied countries. I hear armies from the lands under the Holy See keep gathering. We're about to enter the One Piece right here. We're about to enter One Piece, become pirates. That would be pretty fun, honestly, seeing a little pirate segment for an arc or so, maybe. I always did think going into One Piece, I've never been like I've never seen really too many pirate movies and sea movies and stuff. You guys know I'm not the biggest fan of war and swimming, especially in the ocean and stuff. I can do it, but I don't know. I'm a little bit anxious towards that kind of stuff, honestly, because yeah, it sounds maybe quite traumatic. But we all used to go to this lake as just after high school and like being like 16 and. Someone in my year ended up dying at the lake we all used to go to. They went a bit too far in there and ended up drowning, which is yeah, really horrible. I was never good friends with the person that died. In fact, you could almost say enemies, but it was still yeah, still quite a big thing. But yeah, I always thought the kind of concept of like One Piece and being pirates, and I've seen the Pirates of the Caribbean movies, which were all right. Like, obviously, some good performances in there. But I've never really seen the kind of allure to going on a ship, going to a land, going back in a ship, going to another land, going to a ship, going to a land. But when I watch One Piece again, I'm like 300 episodes deep. So that says enough as it is. But yeah, it's a much better kind of concept than I thought it would be. Never saw the allure of kind of fighting on the ocean because there's not much you can do except when you go to these islands and such is where like the real fun and stuff happens. But just on the open sea and stuff, I always just kind of thought it's kind of boring. Just two ships fighting in a very empty, very desolate place. Nothing around, just green, blue water and blue skies. But again, quite happily proven wrong. So there's several allied countries there. Looks more and more like the big war against the Kushan's going to start. With the king dead and his only child, the princess missing, Miss in Midland, has no real ruler. Even if the allied forces drive out the Kushan, the territory will be carved up real good. Unless... So do you think Griffith would... I imagine these would also be an enemy to Griffith, right? With his ultimate goal. So it's almost like a three-way battle. If I'm thinking correctly. Maybe Griffith would accept the help from these guys and maybe they might end up being won over by Griffith. But this is a host of countries right here. I can't imagine they all would agree with Griffith as much as they're all agreeing with each other. But we saw what his charisma and what a couple of seconds can do to a guy with Griffith, so... If it goes badly, the kingdom itself will disappear. Anyhow, it's no concern of shepherds like us. Yeah, honestly, yeah, just keep farming. That's all you need to know as a farmer, isn't it? Just keep farming. It's a nice life in a way. Nice to be nonchalant and to not be involved in problems like that. That's why I don't get involved in like politics. I don't vote or anything like that. I just see it as a huge fucking waste. It sounds bad saying it's a waste of time because it's like it's the country's future, it's the people's future, but it's arguments over nonsense in most cases. I mean, every now and then there's something important. It is an important job, but yeah, it's just a lot of nonsense in my opinion. Just too much hassle for any good outcome for an average person like me. And honestly, people say your vote matters, your vote counts. One vote doesn't matter, not at all. As much as people like to say it does, and that's a bad thing to say. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. Disappear. Midland. I mean, you kind of see it with like the whole LGBTQ or stuff, whatever. Everything nowadays gets politicized, where it's they try and use stuff like that for political gain. And again, I just hate stuff like that. So. Hate that they use people's feelings and beliefs for political gain, for career progression. That's pretty disgusting. I don't want to get involved in something I don't agree with, essentially. Are you a Midlander, son? What a pity. Nope. I just took advantage of their hospitality, son. A long time ago. Oh yeah, I forgot. If you're going that way, watch out. Especially around the mountain pass. Got a Yeti. What, old man? Bandits or something? Better if it were. But it ain't humans up there. It ain't fucking humans. Yeah, we got some kind of... Again, I really like weapons like this. As I said before, I've made a bat like this myself. Yeah, some kind of Yeti. Some kind of Yeti demon. We haven't had a fight with a demon in a while. Well, we've had a fight with demons, but we haven't had a fight with like an apostle or a heavy demon in a while, have we? But yeah, that is the end of the volume. Really good volume yet again. I've been really liking this arc so far. It has been awesome, hasn't it? And again, as much as I was disappointed at the time with the end of the last arc, it really did set this arc up for greatness so far, hasn't it? There's been so many good moments, especially character-wise, in my opinion. There's been so many good character moments and developments and changes in characters. Love this stuff with Farnese today. As I said, very relatable, very relatable. But yeah, let's read some comments and then we'll end off. Might have a little peek at the next volume cover as well. Not too many people talking about Farnese, considering there's pretty much this whole chapter was focused on her. We were just talking about how pretty Casca looks. And the dimension style. Oh, here's one. Kind of feel bad about Farnese. I also feel like people struggle to kind of reinvigorate themselves for a character, if that makes sense. Kind of they brand a character something, and then if there is developments or changes in that character, they say it comes out of nowhere, or they still don't like them or whatever. I feel like sometimes it's hard for people to say that they were wrong. Whereas, again, you know my stance on that. Everyone's wrong until they're proven right. Everyone is one way until they learn another way to do something, a better way. So that's just how humans are. We learn, but some people don't. I guess some people don't. I've always been a big learner, to be honest with you. Always love learning new stuff. I'm one of those people though that when I try to learn something, I try and always be as good as it as possible, and always try and take it to the extreme. And that's a bit of a negative in some cases. Like if I get a new game or I take up chess or something, I always try and push myself to the extreme and get as good as possible and be the best I can be. But there's always like a wall, and sometimes I'll just give up, sometimes I just keep going, and you see small improvements. I feel like that's the case with many things. So you get to a stage where you've improved a lot, and then you do slow down, and obviously the margins to get better decrease. And that's just natural, but sometimes that disheartens me a little, and then I'll just fully quit. Yeah. bit of a strange one, I know. Yeah, not too much. Again, there's a supreme lack of comments here about Farnese. Like I said, this whole chapter was almost fully focused on Farnese. Some beautiful moments with her right here. Like I said, it's so relatable. Maybe it's because a lot of these readers are quite young and haven't had that kind of midlife crisis or whatever. But I thought there was some really good stuff here with Farnese, wasn't there? Very relatable stuff, very emotional stuff as well. And like I said, as the chapters go on, she just grows on me more and more. But yeah, let's have a little quick peek at the next volume cover. Oh, nice. Get everyone in color again. The fucking hair colors really always do surprise me. That's a nice little cover here, isn't it? Volume 24. How many volumes got left? Not too many, I don't think, unfortunately. Everyone looks great here, don't they? Guts, Casca, Puck. My my dude Acidra looks clean here, doesn't he? Maybe a bit too clean. Feel like maybe you could do a few kind of like what do you even call them, like those marks whatever, make them a little bit dirty. Look at Serpico, bloody hell, dude looks like a prince, fucking hell. And Lady Farnese, again, I do really like her new design. Ooh, I should probably stop. I was expecting to see her a bit more throughout this chapter, honestly, but looks like we'll be seeing her again next time. I've got to stop there. I keep fucking spoiling myself. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, let me know what you guys thought about these chapters in the comments. And again, some brilliant stuff here today. Again, especially with Farnese, some really interesting stuff with Griffith as well, and his kind of what he made that guy do. Just instantly give himself up to Griffith, and just instant, like from somewhere deep within him, give himself to pledge his life to Griffith, just like that, just like after 10 seconds of meeting the guy, hearing a couple words. It's quite the fucking situation. Again, I'm not sure if there's a little bit more going on there, because it does seem really extreme to do something like that, but perhaps that's just how it is. But yeah, again, let me know what you guys thought about these chapters in the comment section. Leave a like on the video if you guys enjoy it, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date with these reactions. I'll be back next time with the first two chapters of volume 24, so see you guys then, and enjoy the rest of your day, guys.